Turn around and wave.
Dogs can be great companions, but if you've ever had a dog before, you know they can be hard to take care of sometimes. Learning some basic information about their behavior and how to communicate with the dog can help a lot with making them more manageable and more fun to be around. Many people unknowingly make their dog's behavior worse by doing things that they think are right but that send the wrong message to the dog. Dogs don't understand things the same way that we do, and it's important that you interact with them with actions that they understand. When a dog is taught commands, they learn to listen to you and that you are able to have control over a dog's behavior to prevent bad or unwanted situations. You should begin to teach your dog commands when they're young, since puppies listen better, but you can teach a dog of any age if you spend enough time working with them. If you own a dog, it's important to teach your dog to listen to you. Since dogs learn a certain way, you have to teach them in a way that they'll understand. One of the first things you should teach your dog if you want the most success is how to pay attention to you. After a dog masters this, then you can move on to teach more advanced commands. A commonly used word to teach this command is look. You want your dog to know that when you say this word that you want their full attention. This allows you to keep your dog focused while learning tricks. In order to teach the dog how to look, you should find a treat that your dog really likes, and you should be in a quiet and calm area where there aren't any distractions. Begin by saying your dog's name and then the word look. Many dogs will respond to this. If they do, and if they look at you, you can give them a treat and praise them. If they don't look at you, then you should take the treat up to their nose and guide it towards your face. This usually will make the dog look at you, and then you can praise them then. This is something you want to practice a lot, just in a quiet and calm area multiple times during the day. Once your dog has mastered this, then you can move on to other commands. The next thing a lot of people will teach their dogs is how to sit. Again, this is something you want to make sure they're in an area with no distractions. Stand near the dog and then take one of the dog treats and hold it above your dog's head. Say the word sit and move the treat back towards the dog's ears, and most dogs will automatically sit down. If he sits, then you can give him a treat and praise him. If not, just wait for your dog to sit by himself, and then you can give him a treat then. As a dog owner, it's not only important to teach your dog commands, it's also important to teach them how to walk on a leash. Many dogs don't listen very well and pull or otherwise misbehave on a leash. This can make it hard to take your dog anywhere, and it can be dangerous for you and your dog. There are a few techniques you should use when teaching a dog how to walk on a leash, and there are also devices available that can help control your dog on a leash. To teach a dog to walk on a leash, you have to be very patient and calm with the dog. When you put the leash on your dog, you'd want to stand there with them until they calm down. Once they calm down and they're sitting there waiting for you, then you would use a phrase that you want them to associate with walking, such as let's walk, and then you can take a step. If your dog follows along with you, then you can continue to walk. If he starts to pull or misbehave, then you want to stop again and wait for him to calm down on his own. You should also probably bring treats with you to give him when he is listening and walking with you. Your goal is to not have the dog walking you. You want to make sure he's walking next to you and not pulling in front of you. Regular dog collars can put a lot of strain on the dog's neck, and they don't always give you the control you need when walking a difficult dog. Harnesses and halters can make a big difference when you're walking a difficult dog. A harness goes around a dog's chest and shoulders. A good harness will have a ring that goes across the front of the dog's chest that you can attach a leash to. When the dog tries to pull with the harness on, the force of them pulling, the harness will exert a force back on them that dogs don't like. A head halter looks similar to a muzzle, except it's designed to prevent pulling rather than to prevent biting. A head halter does not prevent a dog from opening his mouth. According to the instructions that come with most head halters, a properly fitting halter should allow the dog to fully open his mouth. A head halter, basically you would take this and this clips around the back of the dog's neck behind its ears, whereas this part goes over the snout, then this part is the part that connects to the leash. They're designed so that when the dog is pulling, it changes the direction of the snout, and dogs don't like this because they want to look at where they're walking. Though a halter may look small and insignificant, they can make a tremendous difference in how a dog behaves when being walked. When interacting with your dog, it's important to know how your dog interprets your behavior and how to communicate effectively with your dog. There are a few circumstances in particular where people commonly do the wrong thing and miscommunicate with their dog. leading to confusion on the dog part and frustration on the owner's part. For example, if you come home and the dog has destroyed your house, many people want to yell at the dog and smack him. Unfortunately, your dog has no idea what you're yelling at him for because he can't associate your anger with his earlier acts. This means you have no effect on his future behavior when you basically punish him for something he's done in the past. Even though your dog may look guilty if you're yelling at him for this, it has nothing to do with feeling guilty. It's just that he knows that you're mad, which makes him nervous because he doesn't know why you're mad. The best thing to do is just clean up the mess and not make a big deal out of it. What you can do, though, is if you catch him in the act of doing something, you can yell at him then because he'll associate it with that act. Another thing you shouldn't do with your dog is try to comfort him when he's scared of thunder or fireworks or other things that he shouldn't be scared of. For example, if he hears thunder and he's scared, you should stay calm and basically act like nothing is wrong. The best thing to do is to find something to distract your dog with, like a toy or a game. You could probably fill libraries with all the information out there about dog training and behavior. However, these simple steps alone can go a long way with starting your dog off on the right foot. If you want to learn more about how to train your dog, there are hundreds of books available that will give you lots of advice on how to succeed with this. There are also TV shows and websites that can help you out. Dogs can be great to have, and they can also be a handful to take care of. If you learn more about how dogs think and how to manage your dog, you will avoid a lot of the frustration of owning a dog.